Kristin Omdahl Show. This is episode 1109. It is also Giving Tuesday, the day once a week, every Tuesday, where we dedicate to Shawls for Sharing Make-Along. I release a new pattern. All the proceeds survivors of domestic violence, and in this quarter that I released for Shawls for Sharing is the Alicia knit shawl pattern, this one here. We have two sponsors also for this quarter. One is I Like Knitting Magazine, and the second one is Ancient Art Fibers, who donated the yarn to make this shawl and also is offering a promotion where you can get the yarn to make this shawl as well and get 15% off your order with coupon code. All of that is listed on the pattern page, including the $5 promotion for I Love Knitting Magazine. Great deals there. Here is the shawl pattern, and when you go to that pattern page, all of those links are there. Hi Val and Judy, Jackie, Sharon, Edna, Donna, Judy, Tina, Joe, Judy, good morning everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hi Chris, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Happy Tuesday, aka Giving Tuesday, Shawls for Sharing. This is the Make Along Day where we talk about different ways that we pay it forward, help other people in our community, make things for charity, and we just talk all about different ways that we give back and help others. So whether you specifically are working on the shawl, I'm and Diane, Sherry, Donna, good morning. If anybody has any questions for me, please feel welcome to ask. Hi Melanie, good morning. Hi Judy and Sandra, good morning. All right, so one of the sponsors that I mentioned is Ancient Art Fibers. They donated the yarn to make the Alicia knit shawl pattern in their Lasco DK yarn. They've also sent me a worsted weight yarn called Revival Worsted, and that's what I'm going to wind this morning. And I thought if you'd like, I could show you a tutorial on how to show you how to do while we talk about Shawls for Sharing. Thanks, Judy. Judy's sharing the kit where you can buy the yarn to make this shawl and get 15% off your order. That's what Ancient Art Fibers is donating to the, is offering to everybody. It's a 15% off coupon code with the code word Alicia, which I explain on the pattern page and the link that I shared as well. But I'm curious if everybody knows how to hand wind a center pull ball, or if you'd like me to show you how to wind a center pull ball while I wind yarn off of my Swift this morning. Hi Thea. I know I've done it before, but I know not everybody watches every episode. Plus it's been probably a couple of years since I've done it, and doesn't mean everybody remembers everything that I say or do, or everything that you learn either. Everybody can use a reminder sometimes. Thought I'd wait and see if anybody was interested, but I would imagine at least somebody's interested. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's always a great reminder anyway. So, you know how to wind up a ball by hand, right? You wrap it around your finger, tilting as you go. Well, there's two things that are different, but the rest of it's the same, is you need to make sure that you leave a tail long before you begin the first set of wraps. And what I like to do is wrap around my 3 center fingers to start with, and I do not wrap tightly at first. It's really important to keep the center of your ball not super tight. The tighter you make this part here, and the more likely you are to have resistance when you pull your center pull tail from the beginning. Hi Yarn Barf. Hi Jackie. Hello Luna. Good morning. And I'm not counting right now, but I can eyeball it. I usually try to count 60 wraps for this first section around my 3 fingers. And by doing it not super tight, and then in that first center section of the ball. Otherwise, if it's super tight in the center of your center pull ball, it'll be really difficult to pull that tail out. Hi, Kat. Good morning. Yes, the coupon code is listed everywhere. You'll see it if you go to the pattern page. I've explained everything there as well. And Judy has shared links here. We'll share it in the video description as well. Okay, I'm pretty close to where I want my center wraps here to be. So what's different about, so when you do a center, you do a wind by yarn by hand, you don't pay super close attention to crosswise over here. But when you're doing a times, and then I'm going to just, again, I'm going to twist about 15-20 degrees, not a full degree turn, and while at the same time, make sure that that tail is facing straight down. So as we twist, we'll get different angles. Keep wrapping our ball in multiple angles. See how I'm still getting multiple angles? But instead of doing it in any direction, I'm making sure that the ball stays with the top here and the bottom here. And as I twist it, then I wrap another 10 or 20 times. And by doing it this way, I keep that center pull, no longer have a center pull. Yeah, I'm having connection issues. I don't know why. Maybe other people are too, but I've had 2 connection issues so far. We'll see what happens now. Edna has tried this. That's great. Yeah, it's a great technique to do a center pull ball by hand. It's a great technique. And, in this small space that I have here, I don't have a good surface for attaching a ball winder. So for me, I can attach my Swift here. It doesn't matter to me. But I figured as long as I was doing it today, it was worth sharing with you how simple it is to do a center pull ball by hand as well. And I don't know about you, but I actually love winding yarn by hand. It's like it's your first introduction to the yarn before you start knitting or crocheting with it. I think it's a great way to start feeling the yarn, feeling the fibers. I don't know, and just introducing yourself to it. You're going to spend a lot of time with a ball of yarn as you're making something, and it's a great way to get to know the yarn first. I don't know. I personify everything. I always think about the intention and the love we put into our stitches. And honestly, can't we start loving the yarn already just from winding it? I think it's a wonderful, I don't know, it's a wonderful way to just add more intention and love into everything that you do. Hi, Gina. Thanks, Lori. Oh, you can put on music, you can talk on the phone, you can put your phone on speaker and have a nice conversation. You could watch a TV show, you can still do whatever multitasking you want to do, but I don't know, I find it really relaxing, and I love how slow the Swift moves when you wind by hand. Winding with the machine, once you have it set and you feel like your hank is taut up there, I like to kind of play with the tension of the Swift to get it a little looser, just because, so I'm not having to pull. Notice that I'm not having to pull really hard as I'm winding, and that's because I made a point to make sure that my Swift didn't have too much tension on it. Now it's a special sweet spot. If you don't have enough tension on it, the hank will fall, and we don't want that. That's when we get major, we can have major tangles, and we don't want that. That's great, Gina. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hello, Mrs. C's Cottage. Good morning. Good morning to anybody that I might have missed, or good morning to anybody who may be saying hello. I appreciate you being here. People that end up watching recorded, not live, I appreciate you being here as well. Has anybody started the Alicia knit shawl pattern yet? I will be working on a tutorial video for it later today or tomorrow. Don't know if anybody has started working on it yet. And I will even share with you some of the simpler ways you can do the shawl if you're intimidated by the X's and O's center gusset chart as well. You could do the whole shawl in garter stitch and skip the X's and O's if you felt like that was too difficult for your first attempt at the shawl. There's lots of ways to modify a pattern, and that's what we'll be talking about in the coming weeks. Hi, Christy. Does anybody have any questions? Do you want to see my progress? Look at this. We still have that center pull in the bottom. Oh, and I almost lost it. But see how I'm twisting as I go, but instead of twisting it in any direction, I'm trying to make sure that that center pull tail sits at the bottom, and I'm only twisting my ball from left to right as I get those wraps around the ball evenly so that I still have a ball shape. Don't cover up the tail. Once you cover up the tail, you can't use it as a center pull anymore. That's good too, Jackie. You know, whatever works for you. Anytime I share techniques, it's to offer you options so that you have more skills in your toolbox. If there are other ways that you prefer to wind yarn, by all means, go with what. Lost connection again. I'm doing the best I can. There's not much I can do when the reception goes out. I'm not sure what's. No different options so that you have options builds confidence, because then you can choose how you want to do things, whether it's how you want to wind your yarn, how you want to cast on, how you want to weave in your ends. It's really a choice to choose which way you want to do something. Thanks, Gina. Enjoy your day too. Edna's dad likes to do the ball winding for her. That's good too. Yeah, having helpers is good also. Hi, Sabrina. Good morning. All right, we've got this. All right, we've got our center pull ball now. And here's the proof that it works. We've got our center pull. It's a little tight at first here, but that's okay. It may have gotten tight in the beginning here, but that's okay. We can still. The good news is the longer, I must have done it too tight after all. There we go. There we go. Now it's got a nice looseness to it. But now that I've pulled my tail so long, I'm going to wrap it in the opposite direction just so I have it close by. And I'm going to work on it today so I will remember that this is a center pull that I had to wrap around. But again, it's just a great tool to have. Like, let's say you're going to be traveling somewhere and you want to be able to use a center pull ball, and you're not going to have a bag where a ball can roll loosely. Or if you're going to work with multiple yarns in one bag, then it's a good time to have a center pull also. I'm glad you're here too, Sabrina. All right, it looks like we're having better service now. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'm trying to keep up with what's going on here. You know what? I could find another link of yarn too. So this is the second yarn that Arts Fiber sent me. It's Revival Worsted. This is color Amethyst. And this is 46% mohair, 44% wool, 5% nylon, 2% acrylic, 2% alpaca, 0.5% silk, and 0.5% viscose. And the color is absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully Lighting in here allows you to pick up all those variations of this hand-dyed colorway. It's a rich amethyst purple, but it does have some nice, because of the mohair and wool blend. I'm having a hard time figuring out what part of the live chat is side conversations and what's directed towards me. So I'm just going to keep winding, and I'll show you what I meant, that I get this nice and taut first. See how I have it tight on there? And then I play around with the tension after I get it up there. I don't want to get it too low where it falls off, but I want it to be able to spin freely because I'm winding by hand. It's easier to wind. I'm not going to wind this center pull. I'm going to do this one fast. And then I don't have to worry about the tension I put in the beginning either. It's okay to make your tension tight if you're not trying to pull from the center. And both ways are good. And like I said, as long as you have a bag that can close, or one of those yarn balls, or you don't mind your ball rolling around, there's no wrong way to wind a ball of yarn. The center pull has its perks, but it's not necessary by any means. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. I try. Here comes the special guest. There. Yes, I know. Come on up and show everybody. Yeah, there might be connection issues. I don't know. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. I can just stick with it, and we'll see. But I understand. Here's Bjorn. He wants to sit under the action. You gonna sit under the Swift? Of course you are. Can you see him now? He's here. Here, if I back up the camera a little bit, maybe we can see him a little bit. There he is. There he is. There's the big boy. He says, "Ooh, this is exciting. This is very exciting. You love watching this, right?" Thank You know, he's just really well behaved where yarn is concerned. I don't know why, Sharon, but he is. So I'm just, yes, he is the perfect companion for me. Absolutely. I love my baby Bjorn. Isn't it amazing how much faster I can go winding this ball of yarn because I'm not worried about the direction that I'm winding in? And like I said, I like having both options. There are times when a center pull ball is very convenient, but there's also times when a quickly wound ball is very convenient too, right? YouTube now. Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad. GBS says, after taking my knitting courses, the Alicia shawl is easy to follow, even for a beginner. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. So glad. Also, in this shawl pattern, Every single row is written out, so you don't have to read something that says, oh, continue an established pattern. I wrote out every single row of the pattern if you prefer reading line by line instructions, but I also share the chart so that you can follow along with the chart if you like. And there will be some tutorial videos coming soon. Oh, now we've got a little help. Thank you, sweetie. You found the tail for me. Did you see that? It says, I found it. I found the tail. You sweet helper. What a sweet, helpful kitty, huh? What a sweet baby. Does anybody have any other questions? Would this shawl be lost in a variegated yarn? Certainly not the sides of it, and certainly not the ruffle. You know, I did intentionally make the X's and O's a subtle stitch pattern in here so that the recipient receiving it wouldn't find it to be too loud. However, depending on the variegated yarn you use, this could get more lost. Variegated yarn would look beautiful there. The ruffle would be beautiful in variegated yarn, and depending on whether or not you thought it was important to see the X's and O's, a variegated yarn would not be a big deal at all. And when talking about variegated yarns, I find that when the colors in the variegated yarn are more closely resemble each other, meaning like analogous colors, low contrast colors, those colors don't detract from a stitch pattern either. It's when you have high contrast, like white to black, red to green, when you have high contrast colors, that's when the busyness of a variegated yarn ends up taking over and maybe hiding the stitch pattern a little bit. So, or a drawstring bag, or a bag with a zipper, or a bag with a yarn pull in it, like a grommet. There are all sorts of ways that. Thank you, Sabrina. He is a sweetheart. I don't know if you're asking everybody or asking me, Sabrina. I don't have a preference. Just depends on how the yarn comes. I don't have an issue with any of it. Sometimes I like to pull from the center, sometimes I don't pull from the center. It just doesn't matter. Oh, feel better soon, Carla. How are you doing today, baby Bjorn? You good? He's probably tired. It's almost time for nap number 2 or so. I have to record today. We're going to have to share your napping spot today. Is that going to be okay? Yeah, you'll have to go sleep on the bed instead while Mommy records. All right, does anybody have any other questions? You can find everything we talked about today at the link in the video description. If you go to the Alicia Knit Shawl pattern page, you can download the pattern with charts. You can also get information about our 2 sponsors this quarter. I Like Knitting Magazine is offering a really great promotion on their subscription, and also Ancient Art Fibers is offering a really great discount on the kit to make this shawl. You can find all of that at the pattern page, which I've already shared, and it will be shared in the video description as well. Here we go. Hi, Hema. All right, well, I don't see any other questions, so thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed talking about the new Shawls for Sharing shawl, the Alicia shawl. Hope you enjoyed my tips on winding a center pole ball by hand. If you would like to continue the party further today, you can always hop over to the forums on my website. It's 100% private, and you can keep chatting with everybody there if you like. If you enjoyed my videos and my content here, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you enjoyed today's video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.